Well, first, I'd like to say that I believe that mission statement for MRI, the Madrid Research Institute, is a noble one and exactly the right one for today's world. Today, innovation is the only path for Spain for growth, prosperity, environmental sustainability, and security. And to have an organization like MRI devoted to that mission statement, I believe will make a major contribution toward those goals. At SRI, we have a very similar mission statement, and we've been able to play an important role, not only in America, but around the world. As such, we've created hundreds of billions of dollars of new economic value and many tens of thousands of new jobs, which is also the goal of MRI. SRI is an organization devoted to innovation, just like the Madrid Research Institute. So yes, we do research. Yes, we work with people to do strategy and develop policies and all elements of innovation. But the goal is eventually to help create new value in society, to create new jobs, to create new opportunities for people, to help create better educational institutions. So all the things that we do at SRI, many of them are also the same missions for Madrid Research Institute. MRI will focus more on strategy and policy, but also on commercialization. How do you take the great work that's being done across Spain and find ways to commercialize it, to create new opportunities for people here in Spain and to create more prosperity? SRI has many, many accomplishments over its history. I dare say that you could not go a day without touching something from SRI, whether it's the computer mouse, Windows, hypertext, high-definition television, electronic banking. Those funny numbers on the bottoms of checks in America came from America. That led to the foundations of credit cards. If you speak to a computer in America, you're speaking to SRI. If you have robotic virtual surgery, that's a $12 billion company by itself. That came from SRI. Many, many things. But we think the best times are in front of us, just as the people here in Spain do, that this is the best time ever for innovation, but you have to do the right things. You have to not just do the great fundamentals, but you also need to be thinking about how do we transform those fundamentals into great innovations to create opportunities in the marketplace. Universities are special places, and they have two primary functions. The first function is, of course, education, to create the human capital that is needed in society. And that has changed now that we're in the innovation economy and we've left the knowledge economy. So that's a different mission today. The second role of the university is to do research, great research, world-leading research. That's the second big role. The reason universities are not good, by the way, all over the world at transitioning the research they do into the marketplace is because they're optimized for those two first things. SRI was formed in Silicon Valley by Stanford University to do that, to help the researchers at Stanford transition their great research into the marketplace. That's exactly the same mission that MRI has, is to work with university researchers and help them realize that if they work in a productive way with the right kinds of people and with the right regions of the world, thinking globally, that they too can be very successful at that. Well, first, it's a great honor for me to be here and to be in this role to help in the creation of an organization that looks very much like SRI, with some differences that are appropriate to Spain. I have personally experienced the joy and the sense of accomplishment from the work that we have done in America and around the world in Silicon Valley. And so to help with that here in Spain, for me, I love Spain, I love the people of Spain, I love the culture of Spain. So to have this opportunity for me is really a highlight for me. And what I hope to do is help with the administration and staff of MRI to make a connection to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is by far the leading region for innovation in the world, and I think that connection that Jean Thiers will help make, having lived in Silicon Valley for many years, that connection I think can be very valuable to the people of Spain to develop the capabilities that are here and to do that faster and more successfully. I would be very careful about giving recommendations to the government of Spain. I am a visitor, an honored visitor, but I would share perhaps the same advice I give to my government, that now that we're in the innovation economy, I think we need to do a few things differently. So the first is there needs to be a comprehensive plan about creating the right conditions for success in this new world, which is full of opportunity, but it's very challenging at the same time, not only in terms of how fast technologies go, but because everything is global. So the first is have a plan for systematic development. That means the right educational strategies, the right R&D strategies, the right tax policies, all the things that government uniquely can do. At the same time, the wealth that's potentially available in Spain will come from the bottom up, not from the top down. So the government's job is to set the conditions to liberate the genius of the people of Spain. And there's no doubt in anyone's mind that Spain is full of genius and great people. The last thing I would say is that in today's world, innovation comes mostly from small companies, not from big ones. Now, for some people, this is surprising, but I tell my government that formation of new small companies is very hard. And they need to be treated differently. They're like delicate flowers. If you step on them, they die. They need to be cultivated, watered, and fertilized. And if you do that, you can create great prosperity in Spain. It's a beautiful country. People would love to be here, to be in an environment that's so warm, friendly, with such great food and culture. There's every reason why Spain can be very successful, but it needs the right policies. And I think it needs to treat small companies very differently. So it's easy to form them, easy for them to survive, and there are examples now around the world of countries who are doing this, and I would recommend that the government look at those and then benchmark itself against those countries and then take the best policies that work here in Spain, and again, I'm not an expert enough on that, modify them for Spain so they work in Spain so that Spain can go talk to anybody around the world and say, this is the right place for you to form your company.